Dear students, good morning. Today in this video class we are going to learn about the history first lesson, the outbreak of World War I, okay, and its aftermath. Aftermath means what happened after the First World War. So first we are going to see what are the reasons that led to the First World War and then what happened after the First World War. So 1914, the year in which the First World War started, is a turning point in the history of the world. Okay, the year 1789, the political and social process that happened in the year 1789 that led to the one of the main reason for the First World War. So what are the political and economic condition that that happened in that year? Okay. Next, the First World War, okay, made us to redraw the political map of the world. So that much there was a vast change after the First World War. Okay. So the resources, the economic resources of the world was drawn. Okay, first time in the history of the world, the economic resources of the whole world was drawn. Is it understood? Then large section of the civilian, a common people like us, suffered like anything. Okay, so many were killed in the First World War. So large section of the civilian common people affected like anything. Okay. Next, three empires. So after the First World War, three important European empires, Germany, Austria-Hungary and Ottomans, were shattered. Okay. So were crushed. Austria-Hungary, Austria, it is not Australia. Austria, it is one of the European country, and Ottoman, Turkey is called, this is Turkey, so Turkey is called Ottomans. So these three important countries were shattered after the First World War. Okay. So now let's discuss the circumstances that led to the First World War. And after the First World War, or during the First World War itself, we are going to see what happened in Russia. The Russian Revolution that took place in the year 1917. We are going to read elaborately. And also the peace organization that was brought after, the First World War. That was the first, organization which tried to bring peace among the countries of the world, was brought after the First World War. Okay. So next let's see about the capitalist countries' race for markets. Okay, the capitalist countries. The capitalist countries, their main motive was, profit. They gave importance only to the profit. They wanted to produce more and more. So after the production, more production, they next wanted to find markets for selling those products. The surplus, the extra, the large amount of production that they produced, they wanted to find a market for selling those things. And also for the surplus production, they wanted raw materials. So these things, raw materials and a market, for selling the goods, made them to find, colonies, and thus they expanded their power, okay, and other countries. So thus many Asian countries and Africa became the colonial country of many European countries. Is it understood? So revolution, okay, the communication and transportation. So what made this surplus production? The revolution that took place in the transportation in the previous lesson, in the 9th lesson itself, we have read, so many inventions. So, the revolution that took place in transportation and communication, okay, made this possible. Is it understood? Then, later 19th century, the England, became the preeminent position. The European countries, among the European countries, England became the important preeminent position, leader. It had a leader position among the European countries. Okay, so the other Africa and Asia were exploited, were colonized by the European countries and were exploited. The resources that were found in these two continents, that is Asian continent and African continent, were exploited, were used by the European powers. Okay, so the as I told you already, the ever growing demand for raw materials, they were in need of, markets and raw materials. So that led to the expansion of these countries in other continents. Okay, that is we called scramble for colonies. So one after the other, the European countries found colonial country, okay, colony in other countries to exploit. Okay, next let's see about rise of monopoly capitalism. I told you what is capitalism. Main aim of capitalism is gaining profit is the main aim. Monopoly capitalism means, so in the market a particular company will lead. Okay, is it understood? There won't be any competition for that particular company. No competition. Even if any competition arises, it will be freezed by the main company. That is called monopoly capitalism. So after 1870, okay, the alliance of industry and finance seeking profits in markets for goods and capitals was a main characteristic of the imperialism. Okay, so imperialism expanding the territories, expanding the power in other countries. For example, England, America, Germany, okay, France, they expanded their power in other countries. That is called imperialism. Is it understood? So, the old ideas of free trade collapsed. It was not, followed. Is it understood? Next, the trust in USA and cartels in Germany. Trust and cartels. What are these two? These two are, a big organization which look after the industries and trade of, each country. That is, trust in USA will look after the trade and industries of the America, and cartels in Germany will look after their trade and industries. The fixation of amount of goods and selling of the finished goods in the markets, everything will be fixed by these two great organizations. Okay, trust and cartels. Is it understood? So, imperialism and its essential characteristic. Capitalism, okay, inevitably, unavoidably led to imperialism. First capitalism, okay, that led to the imperialism. Is it understood? So, Lenin, the great revolutionary, Russian revolutionist, philosopher, a socialist, said that imperialism is the highest stage of capitalism. Capitalism leads to imperialism. Who said? Lenin, the great revolutionary of Russia, has said this. One of the important, for one more question. Okay. So, the surplus goods colonies and served another purpose. It is not just about making colonies in other countries, but exploiting, okay, making use of the resources that were found in the colonies. imperialism. Okay, next let's see about the rivalry of great powers. The rivalry that, happened among the great powers of Europe and along with America. Let's see one by one. Europe, in the 19th century, European powers had colonized many other countries. By 1880, most of the Asian countries were colonized by Europe. Okay, Europe means the countries that were in the European continent. Is it understood? So, the occupation, division and colonization of Africa took place. So, what are the important year that took place this colonization? Between 1881 to 1914 till the First World War broke out. Okay, it started, First World War started in the year 1914 and ended in the year 1918. This is the duration of First World War. Okay, so after 1870, England, France, Belgium, Italy and Germany joined the scramble for colonies. So, one after the other, all the European colonies wanted to establish their colonies in other countries. Okay, next, clashes amongst great powers. So, what happened among these European countries? Germany, Belgium, British, that is Britain. Okay, France, what happened among these great powers? Russia and America. Okay, despite the leading industrial growth, the control of a vast empire, England had a vast empire, a great monopoly market, everything out of all this, in spite of all this, England wanted to establish its power more and more. Okay, so England was in competition with Germany and the United States. Why there was a competition between Germany, United States and England? Because the markets which were caught by the Britain, now it was used by England and Germany. How England and Germany could grab the markets of England? By selling the products at cheaper rate. So that it creates a great tension, okay, in Britain. Is it understood? So thus there was a clash among these three important countries, England, Germany and America, USA. So the national rivalry led. So this national problem, okay, it led to the colonies. Wherever they go, okay, the colony countries, they reflected their enmity in the colonial countries. Is it understood? So, Asia, the rise of Japan. Let's see about Japan. Japan, it is in the East Asia. We all know Japan. Okay, Japan. So, rise of Japan, let's see. So far we have seen about the European countries. Let's see about the superpower that emerged in the early 20th century, that is during the First World War and before. The condition of Japan, let's see. Japan during this period here it is given 1867 to 1912. The political and economic condition that prevailed in Japan during 1867 to 1912. Meiji era. Meiji was the ruler who ruled during this period in Japan. So, this Meiji imitated Western ideas. They were copying, they liked to follow the Western culture and ideas. They were influenced by the Western ideas, okay. But outwardly it was feudal in nature actually. Feudalism, so many times I have told you what is feudalism. Land, as a price or as a person gets a land from his king or lord, as a price, as a gift, when he served for the king or the lord, particularly in the war. Okay, so keeping that land, that person will appoint laborers to work. That is called feudalism. So outwardly it was feudal in nature. Japan was feudal in nature, but indirectly it was following Western ideas, Meiji. Okay. So Japan took to Western education and machinery. Okay. With a modern army and navy, Japan had emerged as an advanced, so in the East Asia, Japan was the first country who emerged as the advanced, okay, country, industrial and also in navy, okay. So army, it was an advanced country. Is it understood? So in 1894, Japan, so after the development in these area, army, navy and industrial sector, what it did, it forced a war on China. China was not in the thought of waging war with Japan, but Japan wanted to prove its supremacy. Is it understood? Its ability. Is it understood? So Japan forced a war on China in the year 1894. So in that war, Sino-Japanese war, China was crushed by Japan. Is it understood? It is one of the important 2-mark question. So the crushing defeat of China by Little Japan in the Sino-Japanese war that took place in the year 1894 to 95, surprised the whole world. The whole world looked at China with great surprise, because it is a very small country. Japan is a very small country, whereas China is a vast empire. But China was defeated by Japan in the Sino-Japanese war that took place in the year 1894 to 95. Is it understood? So after the war, after the victory in the war, Japan annexed the Liaotung Peninsula with Port Arthur. Port Arthur. These are the two, Port Arthur and the peninsula, Liaotung Peninsula, were in China. Okay. These two were annexed by Japan, though the important, superpowers in that time, that is America, France, okay, and Germany, insisted Japan not to do so. But in spite of that, Japan annexed these two, that is Liaotung Peninsula with the Port Arthur. Is it understood? So by this action, Japan proved that it is the strongest nation in the East Asia. Okay, one of the important 1-mark question. So Japan, however, in view of pressure, but after that pressure was mounted. Much pressure was given by the great powers. Because of that, it gave up its claim. Japan gave up its claim over Port Arthur and Liaotung Peninsula. But using this situation, Russia waged war on Manchuria. Manchuria, again, it is a place in China. So using this situation, circumstances, Russia took over Manchuria from China. So now Japan approached the superpowers that Russia should leave Manchuria, or else it should be given back to Japan. Is it understood? So thus a great enmity arises between Japan and Russia. Is it understood? So Russia underestimated Japan. So Russia thought Russia is a very vast, a very great country in land wise. Okay, so it underestimated Japan. War took place between Russia and Japan. In that, Russia was defeated by the small country Japan. So thus Japan entered into the circle of great powers. So far we had seen the other European countries. Now in that circle who had come, Japan also had entered in the great circle of superpower. Is it understood? Now let's see about strong arm diplomacy of Japan. the Japan's diplomacy with other countries, okay, its relationship with other countries, how it reacted, how it acted with other countries. Let's see. After 1905, Japan took control of Korea is a near country to Japan, you know. So, Korea, it took the control of Korea. Japan took the control of Korea, okay. So, the assassination of a prominent Japanese, an important Japanese person, okay, he was a diplomat. You all know what is diplomat, you know, the one who maintains a relationship with the country, okay, with his own country, you know, with other country is called a diplomat. So, here the Japanese diplomat was assassinated, okay, killed. Is it understood? Diplomat. So, it provided the excuse in 1910 for Japan's annexation of Korea. So, when the Japanese diplomat was killed in Korea, keeping that as an excuse, okay, Japan took over the control of Korea. Is it understood? So, the confusion in China following the downfall of the Manchu dynasty. So, in the same time, the Manchu dynasty was ruling China. The downfall, after the decline of Manchu dynasty in China, there was a great confusion arised in China. So, using this situation as a favor, okay, in 1912, Japan, you know, further expanded its power in China. Is it understood? So, Japan demanded the transfer of German rights in Shantung to Japan. Shantung, it also one of the place in China. It was in the control of Germany. So, Japan insisted that the Shantung, because so many Japan's you know, power is expanded here in China now. So, it insisted that the power of Shantung also to be transformed to the hands of Japan. Is it understood? From Germany. So, and the recognition of Japanese hold over Manchuria. This strong arm diplomacy aroused the hostility of both China and the European powers. So, this created hostility, enmity between Japan and the European powers. Okay. So, next let us see about the colonization and its follow. In 1876, barely 10% of Africa, in the year 1876, only 10% of Africa was colonized. Okay. By 19, okay, practically 1900, the whole of Africa was colonized, one by one. All the European countries colonized Africa. Okay. So, Britain, France and Belgium had divided the continent. Here the continent refers to Africa. So, Belgium, Germany and Britain divided the whole of Africa among themselves. Is it understood? So, that is called the sphere of influence. That is, the sphere of influence means they divided the continent among themselves and the particular territories where they have their power, that is called sphere of influence. So, that particular place should not be you know, interfered with the other European powers, that is called sphere of influence. Okay. So, Japan took over Korea and Taiwan. France conquered Indochina. Indochina actually, it consists of 5 countries, okay, Thailand, what are the important 5 countries? Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar and Thailand. So, these 5 countries, you know, consist of Indochina. So, Indochina by France and US took the Philippines from the Spain, and Britain and Russia agreed to partition Iran. Okay, Iran is partitioned among Britain and Russia. Okay, so this is how they divided the continents, Asia and Africa, among themselves. Okay, the first European attempts to carve out, see, it was not easy to make colonies in Africa. So when they tried to grab the places in Africa, a bloody war means many were died. Okay, the resistance of Africa was more. It was not easy for the European countries to grab the places in Africa. So many war took place between these countries and many were died in the war. Okay, so the French had to fight a long and bitter war to conquer Algeria and Senegal. Algeria and Senegal are the places in Africa. The France had to fight a lot in order to grab these two places from Africa. Okay, and the British lost to the Zulus. The war took place between British and Africa over Zulus. Africa won. Okay, so thus British had to lose Zulus, that also one of the place in Africa, and to the Sudanese army, both Zulus and Sudanese army. The Italian army suffered a devastating defeat at the hands of an Ethiopian army at Adowa. It is also one of the important, one more question, a place called Adowa in Africa. So in that place, the war took place between Italy and Ethiopian army. Italy had to meet a devastating, a great damage by the Ethiopian army. That means Italy was defeated by Ethiopian army. Is it understood? So in the beginning, as I told you before, only 10% was colonized, but later one by one, so these wars led to the colonization of whole of Africa under the European powers. Is it understood? Now let's see one by one the causes for the World War and the results of World War. Courses, how it went, and the result of the First World War. Let's see the first one, European alliances, the alliances and the counter alliances. Okay, the European countries made alliances among themselves. Okay, first Central Power and allies, two group, it divided into two group. The first one is Central Powers, which consisted of Germany, okay, Austria-Hungary and Ottomans, Turkey. Okay, this is Italy, European country, whereas this one, Turkey, is half of the Turkey is in Europe continent and half is in Asian continent. Okay, Turkey. Turkey was known as Ottomans. Is it understood? So in 1900, 5 of the European great powers were divided into 2 armed camps. Okay, the European powers became 2. Okay, the first one, as I told you before, the Central Power, which consists of Germany, Austria-Hungary and Italy, okay, under the guidance of Bismarck, a German statesman. Okay, statesman, a public figure is called a statesperson, a political figure is called a statesman. So Bismarck was the Germany statesman. Is it understood? So under the guidance of Bismarck, they had formed the Triple Alliance. These 3 countries, triple means 3. So 3 countries alliance. Alliance means relationship. Okay. So these 3 countries became, they had their relationship. So Triple Alliance under the advice given by the Bismarck. Okay. It took place in the year, the Triple Alliance took place in the year 1882. Okay. So the understanding was that Germany and Austria would help each other if other European countries wage war against. What is the understanding? If any other European countries wage war against them, then each country should help each other. Is it understood? For example, if Germany is invaded war okay, by Britain, then the other two countries, that is Austria-Hungary and Italy, should help Germany with army, okay, and soldiers. Is it understood? This is the understanding of this is the main reason for the Triple Alliance, okay, the formation of the Triple Alliance. So in the same way, the other camp consisted of France and Russia. First, it was consisted mainly with France and Russia. France, one of the European country, you know, and Russia, okay, these two formed the next alliance, okay. So, their alliance was formed in the year 1894 with the promise of mutual help, the same objective, here also the same aim. Okay, if Germany attack each of the country, then each country should help each other. Is it understood? So, this was the main motive of the alliance of Russia and France. Is it understood? So, an isolated Britain, now Britain is left alone. So, now Britain wanted to alliance with Russia. First it wanted to alliance with Germany. Twice it approached Germany for the alliance, but Germany did not accept the alliance of Britain. Is it understood? So, as Japan was increasingly hostile towards Russia, there was because already we have seen the war took place, Russo-Japanese war. In that Russia was defeated by the small country Japan. So from then the enmity becomes large and large. So the enmity that arose between Russia and Japan towards Russia, as France was the ally of Russia, it preferred to ally with Britain. So now Japan wanted to alliance with Britain. Is it understood? First, Britain was not accepted by Germany. Japan did not want to alliance with France and Russia because there was a constant enmity between Russia and Japan. Okay, so Japan wanted to be with Britain. Is it understood? So the alliance happened in the year 1902. One of the important one mark question between Britain and Japan that took place in the year 1902. Okay, the Anglo-Japanese alliance. Anglo here means the British alliance with the Japanese. Okay, prompted France to seek an alliance with Britain to resolve colonial disputes over Morocco and Egypt. So now France wanted to be with England because it wanted to get its power over Morocco. Morocco, it is a place in Africa. Okay, Morocco and Egypt. Is it understood? Both are in African continent. So France wanted to grab the power of Morocco and Egypt. So this resulted in the Entente Cordiale. Entente Cordiale. Cordial means what? Heartiest, alliance. Okay, is it understood? In return for letting the French have a free hand in Morocco, France agreed to recognize the British occupation of Egypt. Britain subsequently reached an agreement with Russia over Persia, Afghanistan and Tibet. So thus they had alliance separately with Britain had alliance with France. Okay, so thus France will accept its power over Egypt, Britain's power in Egypt. Okay, in case if France is allowed to have its power on Morocco by Britain. Okay, is it understood? See how they colonized the countries and had their power, and for the power how they fought among themselves, you see. Okay, so then after the alliance with France, again Britain had its alliance with Russia in order to get Prussia. Is it understood? So Persia, Afghanistan and Tibet. So thus was formed. So this is how the formation called Triple Entente of Britain, France and Russia came. Okay, important 2 mark question, a small 2 mark question actually. Triple entente among Britain, France and Russia. Is it understood? Next, let's see about the violent formation of nationalism. So there was a tendency whether the country is good or bad, whether they are following good means or bad, the people and the leaders, particularly the leaders, had the opinion that they have to stand with their country. Okay, a severe nationalism, a love for their country, patriotism. So these kind of severe patriotism and nationalism in different countries are called differently. Is it understood? In England it was called as Jingoism. Okay, England it was called as Jingoism, and in France it was called as Chauvinism, and Germany's culture, okay, a severe love for their country. Is it understood? So these three, okay, a different form of nationalism was formed and followed by the leaders. One of the important 2 mark question. Okay, contributing decisively to the This is also one of the main reason for the outbreak, the beginning of the war of First World War. Is it understood? Next, let's see about aggressive attitude of German emperor. Let's see about German now. Emperor Kaiser William II. Okay, he proclaimed that Germany would be the leader of the world. He wanted that Germany to be the leading force of the world. Is it understood? All the other countries are next to Germany. Will it be accepted by other European countries? That was the other main reason for the Second World War. So when they had this attitude, their actions will also be according to their thought. Yes or no? Is it understood? They had the superiority feeling that Germany is the first country, a leader to the whole world. Is it understood? This is the attitude of the Emperor Kaiser William II. So the sea being considered a preserve of England. Here in England, sea that is near to England. Okay, England was the supremacy. It had its supremacy over navy. So thus Germany wanted to grab and cripple the power of England over sea. Is it understood? So a preserve of England ever since Napoleon's defeat at Trafalgar. So from Trafalgar is a place, actually Napoleon is a French statesman, a military leader, a great military leader, but he even was defeated by the British at a place called Trafalgar. So after it took place in the year 1805, French statesman Napoleon was defeated by Britain in the year 1805. Okay, so thereafter Britain's supremacy over sea, was not grabbed by anyone. Is it understood? But now Germany wanted to grab the power of, cripple the power of the Britain's power over sea. Is it understood? So Germany's aggressive diplomacy and rapid building of naval bases. So now it started naval building, it wanted to strong its naval force and convinced Britain that a German. So when Germany tried to strengthen its naval force, Britain had doubt whether it is against Britain, whether Germany is going to attack Britain. So now it wanted to preserve its power, preserve its country. Yes or no? Its power over sea and also its country when it is invaded by Germany. So now it started to strengthen, more and more about its, forces, navy forces. So thus made Germany to think that it is against Germany. So thus a great continuous tension among Germany and Britain prevailed. Is it understood? So this was the great tension among these two powers. Next, hostility of France towards Germany. France and Germany were old rivals. France and Germany. Why? Bitter memories of the defeat of 1871 and loss of Alsace and Lorraine. See, in English you have in 6th unit, the first prose lesson is about the last lesson. It is about, the French places, Alsace and Lorraine, how it was defeated, how it was, took over by Germany. Okay, in that lesson, while reading that lesson, you will come to know about this. So, that bitter feelings were in the mind of France. Okay, Germany's grabbing of these two important places, Alsace and Lorraine in France. Is it understood? So, rankled in the minds of the French, German interference in Morocco added to the bitterness. In British agreement with France over Morocco was not consented by Germany. So, already we have seen the Triple Entente. What was the Triple Entente? When France was allowed freely to have its power over Morocco, Britain would be allowed to have its power on Egypt. Okay, it was the Triple Entente between these three countries, France, Britain and Russia. But it was not accepted by Germany. Okay, is it understood? So, Kaiser William II intentionally recognized the independence of the Sultan of Morocco. So, Kaiser wanted to free Morocco and wanted to set up an international, international conference to decide the future of Morocco. Is it understood now? So, now Germany wantedly interfere with the France and Britain. Is it understood? Imperial power politics in the Balkans. So you should know the Balkans. Okay, it is in the southeast of Europe. There are nearly 11 countries in Balkans. Okay, Macedonia, Bulgaria, nearly 7, Bosnia, Romania, Albania, Herzegovina, Croatia, Montenegro, all these are Romania, Serbia, all these nearly 11 countries are called Balkan countries. Why it is called the Balkan? Because there is a Balkan mountain range, so it derived from the mountain Balkan. So these 11 countries are called Balkan countries. So what happened in the Balkan countries? Imperial power politics in the Balkans. The Young Turk Revolution. Turkey Revolution. I told you what is Turkey already. The other name for Turkey was Ottoman. The Young Turk Revolution that took place in the year 1908. A strong and a modern government in Turkey. So why this revolution took place in Turkey? They wanted to build a strong and modern nation in Turkey. I told you Turkey half was in European country and half in Asia. So provided both Austria and Russia with the opportunity to resume their activities in the Balkans. So now making use of the situation, Russia and France wanted to establish their power here in the Balkans. Because there were problems among these 11 countries. So Austria and Russia met and agreed that Austria should annex Bosnia and Herzegovina. See, so they met one by one the 11 countries leaders, and thus Austria and Russia met and agreed Austria should annex Bosnia and Herzegovina. These two countries will, annexed means joined by Austria, while Russia should have freedom to move her warship through the Dardanelles and the Bosphorus to the Mediterranean. See here, this is not actually land, this is called Mediterranean Sea. If Russia helped one of the country, Austria, European country, to have its, to help Austria to annex the Balkan countries, the two important Balkan countries, then Austria should help Russia to, freely move its warships here in the Mediterranean Sea. This is sea actually, Mediterranean Sea. Through Dardanelles, okay, freely Russia should be allowed to use its warships in the Mediterranean Sea. Is it understood? This is the agreement between Russia and Austria. So, soon after this, Austria announced the annexation of Bosnia. Without waging any war, Austria on its own, okay, announced that it will get the power of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Okay. Austria's action aroused intense opposition from Serbia. Serbia, one of the Balkan countries. So now Serbia got tension when Austria announced this. Okay, Germany gave Austria firm support. Now Germany came here in Balkan area and gave its support to Serbia, okay, in case if Austria annexed these two places, Germany would help Serbia. So this is, now see the alliance of Germany and Serbia, one of the Balkan country. So Germany went to the extent of promising that if Austria invaded Serbia and in consequence Russia helped Germany, Germany would come to Austria's assistance. So it promised, Germany promised Serbia if Austria, so it kindled Serbia to raise its voice against Austria's Austrians announcement. Okay, in case if Austria wage war against Serbia, who will come to rescue Serbia? Germany will come to the rescue to the help of Serbia. Is it understood? So thus, among the Balkan countries, a great tension occurred because of these two powers, Russia and Germany. See the motive of Russia and the motive of Germany. Is it understood? So Germany would come to, so the enmity between Austria and Serbia led to the outbreak of war in 1914. This also was one of the important reasons for the First World War that took place in the year 1914, Balkan War. Is it understood? Dear students, the remaining part we will see in our next video. Thanks for watching.